hiring strategy, and more specifically, screening strategy. How, when we have a big pile of resumes that come in, either they come in an electronic system or they come in on a person's desk, what's the best way to sort these? Because in this pile of people right here, there's going to be, if there's 100, we know there's probably going to be 5 outstanding people that are applying. In the workforce, we know it would be 20%, but only if someone's a really effective and productive worker, they move jobs a lot less and they apply for jobs a lot less. So we know that probably less than 5% will be actually the people you really want to deal with. Okay, there may be another 15%, 10 to 15%, very employable and very effective. So how do we find these 20% of people out of 100? And this is where the screening strategy becomes really important. Because traditional hiring uses what's maybe called resume matching. So whether this is done with a computerized system that takes the applicant's resume and then matches it over to what the requirements are, or whether someone goes through and starts to sort things based on usually experience, what their education has been. And so now you get a pile of this split up where they go, okay, here out of the 100 are the 5 people that have the most experience and the most education. But what do you think? Are they going to be the cheapest people in this pile or the most expensive to hire? That's right, they're going to be the most expensive, and because it's traditional, just by the term traditional means most people doing something that way, do you think that these people have also hit the radar for other companies? That's right, they're on the radar. So now these people are going, I want to come and work for you, I'm going to take the job. Then when it comes time to finally sign them up, or they start, they go, oh sorry, actually I took another job. This other company that didn't get back to me, it's very frustrating. The thing is, because we do look at experience and education, does that mean that out of this pile of 100 people, that we found the 5 people that are going to be the most effective in your organisation in that job? No. Because this system is flawed. Just because someone has 5 or 10 years experience in accounting, and just because the person has done all the university and has, a CPA, it doesn't mean that the person's going to be productive in the job. And so we're hiring someone because on paper the machinery looks right, but the machinery hasn't been run. And so what happens is the person's hired or screened based on how they look and feel. And they're interviewed and asked, well, what did you do? How did you do that? And then this all sounds good, maybe a reference check's done, so now the person gets hired. And so now the person goes and starts to produce, and we find out only over a period of maybe months or years that the person is either very productive and the hiring was right, or the person's actually can't produce at all, or worse still, they're destructive to the organisation and the people around them. And so based on this, and I'm sure you guys have seen when someone's been hired and they look great and everyone's excited, but they didn't work out. Have you seen this? So the trick here is to be able to check this first and reverse the flow. So check productivity first. Go through this pile and go, who is the most productive? The next productive, the next productive. And so I want these 5 most productive people. And looking at resumes is not going to tell you this. Very rarely do people write their resumes in a way that you go, wow, this person I know is productive. I know this person has been able to create a lot of value for the organisations they've worked for in the past. Okay, as you go up the organisation structure, it normally gets easier, funny enough. As you come down through the organisation, it gets tougher and tougher. But for every job, we only want to hire people that can create value. And so at Performia, we have a system that can actually get these 100 resumes, run them through a system. It can actually either be a phone or face-to-face interview, which is a bit slower, a little bit more thorough, or on an internet-based evaluation system, and allow this pile to be sorted based on production. So that now you just deal with the 5 people at the top that are the most productive. This in itself doesn't sound so exciting, but when you realise it swaps that whole strategy where no longer you need to use your organisation to be the testing ground, this is what now allows a very powerful system to bring in the right people that are going to be effective and create value and allow the organisation to grow much easier and much faster with much fewer issues with your human capital.